Randall Wiseman, Southeast AgNet.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 572-2510. That's 572-2510.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala!
All right, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Typically, when we come back from a break, I will tell you the temperature, which right now, if you're interested, is 77 degrees. But on a day where there's a storm coming, we usually give you a lot more information. And one of the things I can do right now is connect that thing that we do here on commercial radio with something that many of you may not be aware of happens on shortwave radio. Jim Penna is in the studio. He's a member of the and spokesperson for the Silver Springs Radio Club. Ron Viola is in the studio. We've met Ron before, and he's back today to talk to us about this. I got a bug on my board here. Oh wow! And Carl Berry is joining us too. He's the assistant emergency coordinator and field day chairman. They're coming in. And, well, we're going to ask them a little bit about their involvement when there is a storm coming up, and I just found out that you guys are on alert right now, so it's good that you're here. Do you have your radios with you? Yep. Look at that cool radio you got right there. And there's actually an American
Radio Relay
League National Association for Amateurs. So the event is happening Saturday, June 25th and Sunday, June 26th. So we're going to learn about that. Good morning, Jim, Ron, and Carl. Good morning, guys. How are you all doing?
Good morning.
Do I have everybody's microphone on? Yeah, that's what you asked me for a sound check earlier. Well, so how are you guys doing? Jim, okay. How are you?
Doing fine.
And the radio you brought in, what is that? A Zenith?
That is an old Zenith Transoceanic Model 7000. It was one of the last transoceanics that Zenith produced. It dates to about 1970.
Is that yours? Your
That's
personal?
mine, yeah.
And you would tune in to listen, or could you broadcast on that?
No, it's not it's strictly a receiver. It's a multi-brand receiver, broadcast bands and ham bands, and it was one of the first radios to have the weather band.
Is that right? So we could listen in on any of the ham broadcasters on like right now. Could I buy a radio where I could listen into your broadcast?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What is it called? The ham radio?
It's called a shortwave receiver.
Shortwave receiver.
Yeah.
And I could just do that. I don't have to be licensed or anything, right?
No problem at all.
You could use a scanner.
A scanner?
Yeah. There are scanners, or there are.
Do I need to know
all band receivers?
Do I need to know the jargon?
No, but
it helps.
It helps. It helps a little bit. Okay. So before we do anything else, what do you want to alert for right now with tropical storm
we got
Colin?
this storm coming in. First of all, I'm Ron Viola. I'm the emergency coordinator for Marion County with Aries. And we're on alert right now, and we're waiting for the storm to come through and see what kind of, if hopefully it won't do any damage, but if it does, we're ready. And if other counties and other areas, we have trailers, radios equipped that we would go and meet them and do any service there in another community.
So take us with you in words. Let's just pretend tonight it's 12 at midnight and it's happening. I mean, the wind is blowing, the rain is coming, the floods are happening. What are you doing at that point?
We're monitoring our radios to see if anybody needs any help or anything. All the emergency people for Aries and MERT, which is hooked up with the sheriff's office, are monitoring their radios in different areas around the county. It could be Bellevue, Dunellen, anywhere in
Has the advent of the internet changed what you do?
Absolutely.
Yes, and has it made it better? Is it more difficult, or?
Well, it's made it better. Good.
Yeah, there's a program called WinLink, which interfaces the ham radio with the internet.
We can basically send out email messages from point A to point B through WinLink without use of the internet. Okay. In other words, if you had a message you wanted to get to your family up in Jersey or New York or wherever, and the internet is down in this area, we can take your message, enter it into our system, the WinLink system, airmail, and send it to a distant station that has internet service. For example, in Texas or Perth, Australia, or someplace else, any place that's connected to the internet, we can send a message to that station, and it would get put into the system. It would be into the internet system, mail system, and then the recipient would receive it on the other end. So just like a regular email, they'd never know the difference.
Wow, that's amazing.
And then we still have the old national traffic system in existence. In fact, that'll come into play on field day because we have to receive a message from our section manager, and we have to send a message to our section manager via the national traffic system.
So are you guys recruiting young guys? Are you trying? Is that what the field day is, to interest new people?
It's to demonstrate what we do in the field as far as emergency communications. Basically, it's held on the fourth weekend of June each year. More than 35,000 radio amateurs gather with their clubs, groups, or simply with friends to operate from remote locations. It's basically a picnic, camp out, practice for emergencies, and an informal contest, but most of all, it's a lot of fun.
An informal contest?
Yes.
Who are you competing with?
Yourself.
Oh, how does that work?
Hey, how do you win?
Well, what you're doing is you're trying to make the most contacts under field conditions. You have a wire set up out in the field. You may have a big antenna. You'll be operating on generator power or other emergency
battery or
batteries.
Some brave souls use battery and solar cells.
Solar panels. And we just do it all. I mean, we can communicate with satellites. We've got several satellites overhead we can communicate through.
With them or through them?
Through them.
Oh, through them.
Both, actually, both.
How do you communicate with a satellite?
Well, there's an amateur station on the International Space Station.
There is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
And who's working it? An astronaut?
Many of the astronauts are amateur radio operators.
Really? You'd think they'd be considered professional.
They are to an extent.
So you'll be speaking to them on field day?
Maybe.
Possibly.
Astronauts?
It's possible.
Oh.
It's to test our equipment too. That's what we do.
Is that right? Wow. Is it less expensive now than it once was? And are the other technology that has changed, has that made it less electric consuming because of you don't have the big hot tubes anymore?
Yeah, the big hot tubes are gone. So
the boat anchors.
So
everything is compact.
Everything is compact. This is even huge compared to what today's radios look like.
Oh, is that
one? Is that one right there?
Well, this is a D-Star radio, which is analog and D-Star. This here, you can talk to England.
I love that. I love that.
You talk to England with that?
Japan.
They're actually smaller than this radio here.
Yep.
Okay, this is my radio. This one is DMR and analog. DMR is digital.
A lot of the jargon you're using is over my head, I'll be honest with you.
It's over your head. DMR is an acronym for Digital Mobile Radio.
Right.
D-Star is something else.
T-Star, okay. Help me understand so that the listeners understand what to expect on field day. Where is it? Give me the details about the field day.
Well, right now it's the field day is going to take place on 161 Oak Circle.
In the Silver Springs subdivision.
Silver Springs, Ocala 34472 is the address. If you want to look it up, go on our website, which is K4GSO.us. That's K4GSO.us, and click on the tab forms, and they'll give you directions.
Okay.
And it'll give you directions right there. We ask people to bring their kids. If they want to talk on the radio, we're glad to do that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're gonna have what's called a Get on the Air station.
So are there field days happening in other cities?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, so everybody does it at the same time.
Yep.
Same weekend.
Oh, okay.
It's a national event, and Canada gets involved in it. The RAC, Radio Association of Canada. We work their stations, but we'll also have distant stations. We may get stations in from Germany or South America, Asia.
Yeah, some years we even get to talk to the South Pole.
Yeah.
Really? How
Antarctic
nice.
stations.
Penguins? Who do you talk to?
Oh, there's a couple of amateur radio stations at the
Actually, we
various South Pole locations.
Actually, we talk to hams.
Yeah.
Will you have applications there if somebody wants to become a ham radio operator?
Absolutely.
We've got classes that'll be coming up, I believe, in July. We'll have the information posted on the k4gso.us website. We do have an amateur radio test session coming up, I believe is June 18th.
Oh.
Let me see the calendar. Yeah, June 18th. It's going to be at 9 o'clock at Green Clover Hall. That's over in the Marion County Government Complex, 319 Southeast 26th Terrace.
Before we go to a break, I went to your website, k4gso.us. There's a memorial service today?
Yes.
Yeah, one of our members passed away recently.
Okay. And so is everybody invited to that, or?
Absolutely.
Yeah? So that's 2 o'clock at the Grace Episcopal Church in downtown Ocala. All right. And tell me about Ben Russell. Who was he? Was he here with you once before, Jim?
I believe he might have been.
Yeah, I think the name rings a bell.
Yeah.
Ben was an amateur radio operator for many, many years. I don't have his whole biography memorized, but I know he was a radio operator in World War II.
Wow.
And I have seen him when he was operating Morse code. Okay, he could send, his hand would move faster than what you and I could blink.
Really?
And he was sending out what we call 60 words a minute in
Well,
Morse code.
this being the anniversary of D-Day, that's quite appropriate to be bringing that up. And the contribution that was made by radio operators back in those days was probably, unparalleled, because everything had to be kept a secret.
Right.
So you had to know how to do things in code and all that stuff.
Yeah, they had the hard stuff because it was 5-letter random code groups that somebody had to decode later.
Wow, it's fascinating. All right, we'll take a little break. If you have any questions, feel free to call up. The number is 622-9622. Go to the website, k4gso.us, and you'll see more. We'll repeat that later on. We'll be right back. Jim Penna, Ron Viola, and Carl Berry all joining us. They are here to promote a 2-day event happening Saturday, June 25th and Sunday, June 26th. It is Field Day for the America Radio Relay League National Association for Amateur Radio, right? We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. There is a tropical storm running at the coast due to Colin. Some wind and rain from Tropical Storm Colin today. Flooding and isolated tornadoes are possible as well, highs in the 80s. Some wind and heavy rain from Tropical Storm Colin this evening, and mostly cloudy late tonight with a shower or thunderstorm, low 73 to 77. Tuesday will be cloudy with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, high 87 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lunder.
Veterans are the foundation upon which our freedom is built. Listen to The Source, WOCA, each Thursday at 9 a.m. to Veterans News with Hank Whittier from Vets Helping Vets. You'll hear tributes, information on veterans issues, and stories that will make you laugh, cry, and feel proud. Veterans News always focuses on the military, past and present, and on our first responders. Veterans News is brought to you each week by Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery, keeping you blooming since 1952.
Need a mailbox rental but need more information? Remember, Personal Service Center, 789-6683. How does $10 a month sound with just a 3-month commitment? Remember, Personal Service Center, 789-6683. Mention WOCA and the setup fee is waived. Personal Service Center will email or text notifications to you when your packages arrive. Even scan mail so you never actually have to pick it up. Now that's service. Personal Service Center, 789-6683. Located on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street, Ocala. Look for the yellow signs.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
All right, 19 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. We are keeping an eye on Tropical Storm Cullen as it gets closer and closer to us. The overcast skies you're seeing right now are the outer bands of what is not a really well-defined storm, but it's still going to produce tropical storm strength winds. And not to scare you too much, but you got to be prepared. And one of the ways that we become prepared as a community is represented in the studio right now. We have some, I don't want to say ham. What is the other one? Shortwave? Did you say shortwave?
Amateur radio operator.
Amateur radio operator. Do you use the word shortwave ever? No. What is that? What does that mean?
Well, there's shortwave, there's medium wave, and there's long
wave,
VHF, and there's
what are we
UHF.
using? What are we using right here?
We would be considered VHF at this point.
VHF, all right.
VHF means very high frequency.
All right. Yeah, you're using a lot of abbreviations. So Jim Penna in the studio, Ron Viola, and Carl Berry. And again, one of the main reasons you're here is to promote the event happening June 25th and 26th. This is at the McPherson Government Complex. No. Where is it again?
We're out in the Shores.
In the Shores. Okay.
Yeah.
Perry Field, 161.
Perry Field, 161 Oak Circle, which is a big open field out where the county does their waste treatment spray field.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you said that because I was a little confused. For some reason, I thought it was at the McPherson.
Well, some years it's been there.
Okay, so tell me the address again.
161 Oak Circle.
Oak Circle. Okay.
In Silver Spring Shores.
Okay, and that's where you'll be meeting on. So anybody can show up. What time do you start on Saturday?
Well, the official start is noon.
No, the official start is 2 o'clock. It's a 24-hour event.
Yeah.
It runs from 2 p.m. Saturday to 2 p.m. Sunday.
Okay.
Got it. Okay.
If we decide to set up everything on Saturday, then we could operate for.
So what do you have, tents or something? You're sleeping in tents?
Tents, campers, whatever you want to.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you sleep or do you stay awake all night?
Well,
we sleep
a little
for a
bit
few
of both.
hours.
Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah. And do you, when you do this, do you ever have anything that happens that's unexpected? Maybe something.
Yeah,
possibly, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You never know.
We've had
depends on the weather.
Yeah, we've had a year where the storm came through and everybody grabbed their radios and did a mad dash inside the building because it was structurally sound. There was, mostly it's weather incidents. However, we do get antenna failures or radio failures. So while we're operating, we also, just like you have to switch to a backup.
Yeah.
And do a quick break on it.
During our break, you told me about your involvement with the Marion County Sheriff's Office and some of the citizens things that you do.
That's the Marion County.
That's your specific area
team.
All right, explain that, and how can somebody be part of that if they wanted to be?
Well, what you can do is get on the website and the k4gso.us and fill out the form. It's an application actually, and you can do that for Aries and MERT. And then there's CERT teams, which is a Citizen Emergency Response Team in different areas. A lot of people, 55 plus communities, live in these communities, and what it is actually they train you. They do have CPR courses. I mean, it's all kind of different things that you can do. Even if your neighbor needs help, you actually learn what to do, how to do it. And then we try to encourage people to get their licenses for their radio in case they're needed. Usually in the CERT team, there's either 1 or 2 people that really have licenses that can communicate with us, Aries, or the MERT people, so we know what's going on. So we have an emergency. We man the hospitals every first Wednesday of the month. We do drills on every hospital here in Marion County. A lot of people don't realize that every hospital here in Marion County has a radio with antennas that we check out every single first Wednesday of the month. And we communicate with them in case the doctors need something.
Is that right? Wow. It's all behind the scenes. We don't know any of this.
There's a lot that happens behind the scenes that the community at large is not aware of. If you're interested in joining a CERT team or possibly creating a CERT team for your community, I would suggest contacting Beverly Case, and I can get her number in a moment.
Okay, while you're getting the number, let me take a phone call that just came in for you guys. Thank you for calling. Thank you for waiting, by the way. You're on the air now. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Jim. I remember as a kid, for crying out loud, we used to play with our radios, and we were able to, at some time, by running a wire out the window or stringing it into a tree, and then also putting a plate and a wire in the ground and connecting it at the radios we had at that time had the better radios had a little lug where you could connect that up to, and also for the antenna. And one of the big things I remember, you'd be tuning it in, we'd be listening to, say, BBC or the CBC radio stations, and it was very, very interesting to hear that. But the thing that would happen is sometimes the frequencies would drift. I don't know, because of atmospheric pressures or whatever. There was a lot of different, matter of fact, that's what it was called, atmospherics. When I was in the service, they installed what they called a super heterodyne radio, and actually sitting there in Newport, Virginia, they actually made a transmission out. It was directional transmission, and it went around the world, and you were able to pick up and hear what was being transmitted because of the time delay of the signal going around the world. And I thought that was absolutely astounding. Then we wound up in the Mediterranean, and the radio wouldn't transmit 60 miles. And
is that right? Wow.
Crazy things like that I still remember. And I don't know if you guys run across that today.
There's
we still do is the CBs. I don't know if there's anything working with the citizen band radios today. But I still use mine because you got instant information about traffic on our infamous I-75, etc. But I'd listen to your comments, and I'll hang up now. And thank you very much for what you guys do.
Sounds like he's talking your language.
Yeah. Well, you did a good job. We understood everything. One thing I think he was alluding to that is kind of funny is the fact that you can actually, when the band conditions are good, you can actually hear yourself. You can actually hear your signal as it goes around the world.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like when somebody keeps the radio on and they're on the phone.
Basically.
I can hear myself in the background.
That's basically the same thing.
Is it that quick? I mean, or is it more of a delay?
It's like maybe a second or so delay. It's called a long delay echo. But it has to do with the propagation conditions on any given day. Some days low frequencies aren't usable. Some days high frequencies aren't usable.
We have another phone call. Let me push the button. Good morning. You're on the air. Thank you for calling.
Yes, good morning. Say, with all the satellites and all what they call space junk floating around up there, would that help in any way with your radio getting in contact with other parts of the world with the signals bouncing off in that?
With satellites, okay, I'm not that well versed in it. I'll be the first to admit it. However, I know when the satellites are flying by us overhead, we can bounce a signal from Ocala to South America, from Ocala to Timbuktu, and it's it just depends on the angle of the satellite, the atmospheric conditions, and things like that.
So the little handheld radios you just showed me that you have, do you need a special license to operate that?
Yes, you do.
Oh, really?
Same technicians, like the first beginning, the technician license.
Oh, is that right?
It's the entry level license.
The FCC will has a heavy hand if they're caught using that.
Yes,
absolutely.
$10,000 fine.
$10,000.
Wow.
If you are not a licensed ham operator. Okay, unless it's a life or death emergency.
Right.
Okay, life, property, or something like that.
So do you have to prove you have a license before they'll sell you one of them?
No.
Oh, okay. So I could go buy one and break the law.
You could buy one. You can turn it on and listen. But the second you hit that push to talk button, that's when you break the law.
Really? And there's somebody monitoring that all the time?
Sometimes.
Yes. We have what's called official observers, and they monitor your, they can monitor your activity. Amateur radio is a self-policing hobby. Okay.
Are the rules different in other countries?
Sometimes,
yeah. But we do have international agreements where, for example, with the Olympics coming up in Brazil, they've relaxed it to where you can actually bring your radio down there and communicate using your call sign.
Time flies. I have to believe the music's on already. Jim Penna, thank you so much. Jim contributes to the show more than anybody realizes, and thank you for doing that, Jim. Ron Viola, good to see you again.
You too.
Thank you for what you guys do.
Thank you so much for having us.
Carl Barry, you're a wealth of knowledge. All you guys are like walking encyclopedias. Thank you so much for what you do. And for everybody else, the event is Saturday, June 25th, starting at 2 p.m., and it runs through Sunday, June 26th at 2 p.m. at 161 Oak Circle. And Robin will put this on Facebook. She probably already has, actually, and that we can share this information. And it sounds like a fun hobby to be a part of.
Well, you're more than welcome to come out there if you want to come out and join us. If you've got a portable station.
Thank you. We've got to go. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. Hillary Clinton could pick up enough delegates in tomorrow's 6 primaries to clinch the Democratic presidential nomination, but Bernie Sanders claims he'd do